Hey everybody, welcome back to another business analysis video. Today's video is a very interesting one because I'm sharing with you. We're doing a deep dive into my first ever business analyst project. What project did I work on? So when I became a business analyst, I didn't really do any project for the first, maybe for the first 6 months of my career. I didn't really do any end-to-end project. So I did small change projects, small change requests. So I didn't get to work end-to-end, and I had always wanted to work end-to-end. So I was at this organization for 9 months. Actually, yeah, it was 9 months. I didn't work on any end-to-end projects. So I wanted to work on one, but this organization didn't really have those sort of projects, project teams. Then so I moved on to my next role, and this is where I experienced my first real project as a business analyst. It was really challenging but very, very interesting. But anyway, let's go straight into the video and I'll talk to you about this project that I worked on. My first business analyst project was a real world challenge for me. A real world challenge. I was working with a non-profit organization on the brink of a significant decision about their warehouse management system. So this warehouse management system was coming to end of life, on the verge of expiration, and we had to choose. The organization had to choose, really. Should we stick with the devil that we know, or should we court a new suitor? So it was a job as a business analyst to guide them through this choice of choosing whether to stick with the same warehouse management system or to buy a new one, really, to transition to a new system that will meet the needs of stakeholders. Now, the existing system was a legacy system. It was a bit of a relic. It was only able to communicate one way with the organization's Magento-powered website. So obviously, we have a warehouse management system. There has to be a front-end website where users are able to place orders on the website, and it goes to the warehouse and they perform all the activities to post those orders out. But anyway, this one-way interaction often resulted in a mismatch between what was shown as available online and what was actually in stock. As a result, it caused frustrating delays when it's discovered that the organization needs to reorder products that people have ordered from the website. It was clear that we needed to address this to avoid disappointing those who supported the cause of the organization through their purchases from the website. That's the initial summary of the project. It followed a waterfall approach, which meant that each phase was as critical as the last phase, right? Each phase is as critical as the last phase. We had to complete one phase of the project before continuing to the next. So what did I do as a business analyst? I started by diving into the processes, getting my hands dirty with the current state of affairs. What are we currently doing? This is what you want to do, looking at the BA approach. I created detailed process maps, documented everything around the warehouse operations from when they receive the orders from the website admins, right? When they receive the orders and what the processes they perform within the warehouse, picking and packing the products, posting it out, all those details, identifying who are the key users as well of the warehouse management system. I also visited the warehouse. Okay, visiting it is like stepping into a map that was hand-drawn, looking at a world of boxes and orders. They needed a guiding system to navigate them effectively. While exploring the warehouse, understanding the current processes, I identified that the manual nature of the operations within the warehouse processes stood out. There were so many manual processes. Picking and packing the orders was very manual and had a potential for missing products, missing steps within the processes. Lack of efficiency, causing so much long delays in the processes. So as part of that, I pitched an idea of introducing handheld scanners to bring efficiency to the warehouse processes when it comes to picking and packing, because what they were literally doing is printing off the orders from the warehouse management system, allocating it to the pickers, and then they will walk around and start picking them and writing down the codes to ensure that they've they've selected these items from the shelves, put them in a box, and then go and pack them. But how do we trace that these items have been removed from the warehouse floor? So there was a lot of room for errors, room for mistakes. These were sort of things that I identified as well as part of my analysis of the current processes and as part of visiting the warehouse to really see how they do the work. So when it came to the analysis of this, I was very thorough. I made sure that I explored every avenue, explored the repercussions of inaction if certain things are not done with regards to highlighting those pain points and what solutions that we can bring in, and what the repercussions of not taking action to solve those problems could cause the organization. I also looked at the benefits of enhancing the current system, again because there was a lot of manual processes and that one-way interaction with the website. It wasn't a two-way, so there wasn't a live interaction or real-time interaction. So part of my analysis also involved exploring the adoption of a brand new solution, what the impacts would be. So how did I do this? So I crafted documents that laid out these paths, creating a BRD that showed what we needed, creating a FRD, functional requirements document, that painted the picture of the future, what we want the future process or the future system, what we want it to look like. So having these insights of understanding the as-is, right, I identified 3 potential new providers for the warehouse management system. So this is called options analysis. What are the options available for us to meet the requirements of the organization? What can we do to make things better? How can we improve efficiency? How can we reduce manual intervention, right? How can we create a two-way real-time interaction between systems? So many things. Found these 3 potential providers for a new warehouse system, and I identified what happens if we do nothing, what happens if we improve our current legacy system, or what happens if we go with an entire new provider. In order for us to really do the analysis of that, I had to then identify these 3 potential new providers of the warehouse. They came in, did demos, tried to sell. There's a lot of sales tactics that these providers do. Try to sell the value of the system to meet our requirements. There was so many other things involved before they were able to come in. Yeah, there was so much things to do. But anyway, each option that was evaluated, not just on the technical merit, but on how well it aligned with the organization's needs, really. So that's really it. As the project unfolded, my focus remained on the mission, which is to meet those requirements, to save time, improve efficiency, save costs, right? To really bring that effectiveness that we want the project to hold for the organization, really. There was a lot of meetings. So after countless meetings, analysis, cups of coffee, we were able to chart a path forward, make a decision on what are we going to do based on these options. So we chose a system really that promised to bridge the gap between our digital presence and our physical capabilities, meaning the interaction of the systems, the two-way interaction of the systems, and the capabilities of the users, the actors, the actual people that are doing the work. So by the end of the project, really, we had not only a roadmap, but we also had a sense of direction and purpose for the project. That initial analysis work that I did was only the first stage, and the real project started once we had decided to go with that system, and then the requirements were clarified, and then we started to work really to make sure that the system represents what the requirements were. Getting to the point that we wanted to get wasn't without its hurdles, right? So as a business analyst, I worked with various other members of the team, project managers, and the providers as well, the suppliers of the system. So one significant challenge that I had was aligning with the warehouse manager, who was the subject matter expert, right? He had his sights set on one new costly system. But again, because it's a non-profit organization, we had to take cost into consideration. But this warehouse manager, the SMEs, expertise was invaluable, but his vision was a heavy financial lift for the organization. So that's one of the challenges I wanted to share. As business analysts, we always come across challenges, and because we deal with so many stakeholders who have different perspectives, we need to be able to negotiate with the stakeholders by selling the value of what we are doing. So really, this is where my role as a business analyst took on that delicate balance of analysis and diplomacy. So I had to take the warehouse manager's insights and weigh them against the organization's budget for the project, as well as the long-term strategy. And my analysis had to be meticulous. The options had to be laid out with precision so that the SME is able to see all the value, the cost, the time frame, right? Showcasing all the alternative solutions that aligned with both the technical needs and the financial reality of the organization, of the project. So presenting these findings to that SME was a lesson in stakeholder management, really. As a business analyst, like I mentioned, stakeholder management is key. It involves listening, acknowledging the expertise of the stakeholder, and guiding that conversation towards a mutually beneficial outcome for the project as well as for the organization. So in the end, my analysis helped to open up a dialogue about what was truly necessary versus what was nice to have. It was really about finding a sweet spot where the organization's needs, the warehouses, functionality, and cost efficiency really met. And so with that carefully crafted proposal based on thorough analysis and thoughtful stakeholder engagement, we set an agreed path together with the other stakeholders with their various perspectives on the project. And we set that agreed path by choosing a system that promised that new era of efficiency for the nonprofit organization. But as part of that, I wanted to really specify that as business analysts, we are not there to make decisions on the best option, but we're there to provide options for solutions through analysis, through presenting all these various aspects of what might impact the organization. For me, really, it wasn't just the completion of the project, it was that journey through the heart of business analysis, providing just how impactful that thoughtful analysis and clear documentation can be, especially when we're paired with our soft skills that are necessary to navigate those complex stakeholder dynamics as business analysts. You will always experience this on projects, really. So that's it about the project. I hope you've enjoyed that and you can kind of visualize what I did on that project as a business analyst. If you'd like to know more and possibly work on a case study on this project, let me know in the comment section and I'll create a longer form video and we can walk through each of the stages on that project that I worked on, look at the example process maps, look at the example options analysis documentation, the BRD, the FRD, look at, what else was I going to say, stakeholder perspective, stakeholder management. Let me know in the comment section below and I'll be happy to create a video on that. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share this content. You never know who it might help. And as always, I'll see you in my next one. Peace.